How's it going, everyone? This is, of course, one of the biggest weeks for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game releases of the year. There's one little game coming out, as you guys might be aware of, but there are also some other games that are coming out, so I want to highlight everything. So let's just get right into it a little bit later than usual on this video, but nonetheless, better late than never, and let's just start things off with the heavy hitter, the biggest game release of the week, and for a lot of people, it's the biggest game release all year, and that is, of course, God of War Ragnarok, coming to both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Look, you guys probably have seen the reviews already. It's sitting at like a 94 on Metacritic, one of the highest rated PlayStation video games of all time. It is, of course, the direct sequel to God of War 2018, which was a tremendous game. God of War Ragnarok looks to up the ante, and by all accounts, so far, the general rhetoric has been that Ragnarok is an improvement over 2018 in just about every way. You've got a sizable amount of content here with people talking about spending 50 to 70 hours on the game. And I'm sure we'll have an emotionally gripping narrative with a lot of twists and turns as well. This is the conclusion to the God of War Norse arc, so to speak. So, you know, it will be interesting to see how they put the final touches on that. But this is obviously a game I don't really need to sell you guys on it. What I do like about it is on PlayStation 5, we get a bevy of different performance options, which I really like to see out of more video games. And Sony has done generally a pretty good job with offering a lot of settings in their games. It should also be noted, the PlayStation 4 version even has a variety of different settings to tweak with, especially if you have a PS4 Pro, so that's pretty cool as well. God of War 2018 was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4, so obviously this is going to be a big one for myself, a lot of other people. This is one of those games that I really feel like it's hitting the casual consumer as well. Like, I have my friends that aren't super into video games all talking about it. And talking about, you know, how much excitement they have for the game, and I foresee it being a slam dunk home run as far as a commercial reception goes. Would I have liked to see it as a full-on PlayStation 5 exclusive? Maybe selfishly, but I think the game is going to look fantastic nonetheless. Alright, moving on from that, we have Sonic Frontiers, the other big release this week, and in a lot of other weeks, this would be the biggest game release of the week. It's hard to compete with God of War, but the fact is, Sonic Frontiers is hitting just about every platform. It's not just a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 title. The reviews for this are coming out as well, currently sitting on a 73 on Metacritic, which I know by today's standards, a 73 is looked at pretty lowly. A lot of people would be like, okay, that's a reason for me to skip the game. But in the case of Sonic games, I don't know, a 73 to me seems pretty darn good, and from what I'm seeing out of Sonic Frontiers, I'm honestly getting a lot more excited for the game. Look, I'm not expecting something that's groundbreaking in every area, but if Sonic Frontiers is going to set the template and the foundation for what Sonic is going to become going forward, it looks like Frontiers is a decent first offering, especially if in future entries they can work on something like the combat and improve that. Whatever the case may be, I just think Sonic Frontiers is going to be something I end up really enjoying. I usually enjoy the Sonic games, and I don't need something that is completely groundbreaking and blow away. What I want is a fun action-adventure platformer, and I think Sonic Frontiers is going to offer that. And it's also going to be another game that's going to offer a sizable amount of content, given you do have these different open levels. From what we're hearing, it's got a lot of variety in said levels as well, so we'll see how Sonic Frontiers ultimately turns out. It will be dropping tomorrow, November 8th. Next up, we have Return to Monkey Island, which has been available on Switch and PC for a couple months now. Return to Monkey Island is an unexpected, thrilling return of series creator Ron Gilbert that continues the story of the legendary adventure games. Obviously, these are narrative-driven, artistic point-and-click titles, so know what you're getting yourself into. Bring classic point-and-click gameplay to the modern day. Intrepid pirates will solve puzzles and explore the islands with a clever evolution of classic adventure game controls, context-sensitive interactions, reactive dialogue trees, and an easy-to-use inventory system, making pirating a breeze. Embark on archipelago adventures, navigate the sometimes friendly confines of Melee Island, a familiar place that finds itself under new management by leaders who have put the squeeze on old friends and new faces. So this is going to be dropping on PlayStation 4 on November 8th. Next up, here's what I'm really excited for. We got Tactics Ogre Reborn. It seems like Square Enix has been on their kick of bringing back a lot of their classic IPs or classic titles and just upgrading them for a modern audience. They did it with Chrono Trigger, they're doing it with Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, and Tactics Ogre is one that's getting lost in the shuffle a little bit. Now, this price point is wild, but in the same sense, they're charging $50 for Crisis Core, and that's a PSP game too. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a port of the PSP title, so you know, maybe we can find that price a little bit more justifiable. You guys know me, I usually dissect things like price point a little bit more, than other people, but yeah, your mileage may vary on that. Tactics Ogre, crown jewel of the tactical RPG genre, is Reborn. Based on the 2010 release, the game features improved graphics, sound, as well as updated game design, bringing to life a new Tactics Ogre that remains true to its roots. So, obviously very narrative-driven, but if you are a fan of tactical RPGs, that is really going to resonate with you, because you're getting into this for the tactics-based gameplay, and I know that's a style not everybody is super into, but at the end of the day, the game is called Tactics Ogre. What are you expecting here? And an upgraded version of the original release, that is going to be pretty cool. And again, it is based on the 2010 release, which was Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, I believe, on the PSP. So bear that in mind. Tactics Ogre Reborn will be dropping on November 11th. Next up, we have Atari 50, the anniversary celebration. This is quite the collection, to say the least. Atari 50, the anniversary celebration, takes players on an interactive journey through 50 years of video games via interviews with designers, developers, and industry leaders, documentary footage, product design documents, high-res original artwork, and a curated list of more than 90 playable games. So quite the roster of games. Also includes 6 new games: Sword Quest Air World, Haunted Houses, VCTR, SCTR, Neo Breakout, Quadratank, and yes, Revenge Reimagined. So all of that will be included on top of a bunch of other games. Like the idea of documentary style works being included with, you know, various editions of games. They did that with Deus Ex Human Revolution, I believe, the director's cut. I kind of like stuff like that. Just an insight into the development and why certain decisions were made, etc., etc. But this is part game collection and also part kind of interactive journey in terms of the history of Atari. So Atari 50, the anniversary collection, will be dropping on November 11th. Next up, we have Kaiju Wars. Play out a kaiju movie as the hopelessly outclassed military in a stylish 2D turn-based strategy game. Construct buildings and defend your city with cannon fodder, tanks, jets, and more as the devastating kaiju grow in power with every attack. This game dropped back in April on PC. Very positive reception across 122 user reviews. 90% of those reviews were positive, so if you want another tactical RPG, definitely a different style than Tactics Ogre, have Kaiju Wars on your radar. And lastly, I do want to give a shout out to the first piece of narrative-based DLC for Dying Light 2 Stay Human. That is Bloody Ties. This will be priced at $9.99, the first official story DLC for Dying Light 2. New story, embark on a new adventure, secure yourself in a spot in the pantheon of the best fighters, help your new friend in his quest to avenge his brother's death, and discover the true nature of the tournament. New location, enter Carnage Hall, a place filled with wealth and splendor where every fight is a narrative spectacle and the strongest seek fortune and fame. You've got a new weapon in the shield glove. Of course, you'll have new gear. All that content will be coming to you for $9.99. If you do have the season pass, you will be having access to that right away. I believe if you bought the deluxe or ultimate edition, you'll have that content ready for you to go on November the 10th. And that is going to do it for me. Again, a stacked week of new game releases. Outside of God of War Ragnarok, man, any week that you have titles at the caliber of a Sonic Frontiers, a Tactics Ogre, Reborn, I mean, that's a pretty stacked lineup, to say the least. But let me know what games you're excited for the most. Maybe, you know, are you picking up anything else outside of God of War? I think that's the real question that needs to be asked. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.